Welcome back to Freaky Fast Broadcasting as we're here tonight, playoff racing in the Irish Hills of the Michigan Speedway here with the Underdog Racing League as they are brought to you by Ultimate Siding and Gutter LLC. Our customers say we're the best in the business. We specialize in residential and commercial construction. There's nothing more important than having a house to call a home. But thank you to Ultimate Siding and Gutter LLC for sponsoring the Underdog Racing League and all the action going on here tonight. As I am Zach Hall up in the booth. Joined alongside me is going to be Carl Pooler, and we'll have Robert Moyer Jr. running the cameras in the production box. Carl, we're here in Michigan for some playoff action. Starting off here tonight with 11 drivers as we had a tie from last week at Iowa. So they opened it up to 11 drivers in the field here for the playoffs. It should be a fun time through these next 5 weeks.
Definitely, Zach. And Michigan's always a fun track. It's not quite a super speedway, but it's not a mile and a half either. This is a 2-mile long track, really banked, really wide. I feel we're going to see some 3-wide, maybe 4-wide racing this evening.
It will be fun to watch and see what they can produce here at the High Banks in Michigan. As you see drivers putting the last few minutes of practice here, we need to talk about what drivers are going to be up here in our playoff standings. As like we said, we have 11 drivers entering tonight here with a shot for a championship through the next 5 weeks. As we continue to hit practice here, I'll go through this list as Jason Finsler, your regular series season champion. He is going to be coming here trying to defend that championship from last season. Joined alongside him is going to be James Lovett in the 56. You're going to have the 53 of Robert Rader, the 25 of Trevor Earhart, the 9 of Justice Murphy, the 99 of Dylan Walterman, the 24 of Nick Alves, the 89 of Matt Jobe, the 27 of Kevin Orlando Jr., the 21 of Christopher Heights, and the last car in the playoffs is the 44 of Ray Lane. As that's 11 drivers there, and they're all going to have pink banners on their cars so you can see where they're at on the racing surface. There's you look at Jason Finsler right now, you can see the pink banner on his car, so it'll be easily noticeable as those are our playoff drivers. And I gotta say, Jason Finsler that we're looking at, he comes in here with an 18-point gap. Yeah, that is a very sizable margin, I believe. But if he has one bad race here early in these first 5 races, that could quickly be erased, I believe, Carl.
And definitely, Zach. You know, we've had Ray Lane. He was able to sneak in last week at Iowa, tying in the points there. We know he has shown some speed and momentum these past few races. James Loveland, again, he won 2 races back-to-back, about a month ago? So he's going to be one to watch. So, yeah, 18 points is a cushion, but you'd be surprised how quickly that cushion disappears.
That it could be very quick as 8 wins is what gives him that gap. 24 points bonus he built up. Also, you had James Lovell, like you alluded to. He had the 2 wins. That gives him 6 points. Robert Rader had 2 wins in the season also. That's going to give him 6 bonus points. And we also had 2 other drivers winning of Dylan Walterman and Christopher Heights, who will both be sitting at 3 bonus points there. So those wins have come back to help those drivers in their positions here as we got the final few seconds of practice clicking away. We got 80 laps here tonight at Michigan. The first race of the playoffs here in a 5-race stretch. It's going to be fun. Make sure everybody you stay tuned in here tonight as we got a lot of action playing on. If you haven't yet, hit that thumbs up and also hit that subscribe button so you can be notified each and every time we go live here on Freaky Fast Broadcasting. But Carl, 0 seconds left here in practice. We're off to qualifying. How important do you feel like it's going to be to start up front here today?
You know, maybe not as important as some of these other tracks, but, you know, clean air always means a lot to these cars. And we were just watching practice here. These cars are really loose. They're slick out there. I feel like that extra air, that extra downforce is going to really help those drivers up front.
And there we go, heading off into qualifying to see where you start tonight. I think you're very right about that too, Carl. Just really going to be interested to see who can work their way through the field because this track does allow it. Like the clean air is going to be critical, but at the same time, very hard to get away from a track like this. But man, oh man, here we go. First few drivers starting to pull out onto the racing surface. We got 24 cars registered for the session tonight. It's going to be a fun one. So that right there, having 24 drivers also opens up the field to make it a little more points to be lost. So if you have a bad night, you can lose even more points. That's going to be critical to watch in these last 5 races, what kind of numbers we have car count wise.
And this is going to be great to watch. We have just a little over half the cars in tonight's field not in the playoffs, so they're just racing at this point to get a win, to say that they won in this league. And points really don't matter, but they do want to carry on and maybe next season have the momentum and maybe show Jason Finsler what's up.
Yeah, definitely. That's one thing that we've seen from last season, drivers building momentum late into going to be able to propel them to this Xfinity series here. So I'm gonna be interested to see which driver outside the playoffs is able to do that this season here at the very end. So like you said, very important for those drivers not only in the playoffs out here to come out here and get a good finish to end off their seasons. We're watching right now the 52 of David Buell. He's trying to put down his first lap time here tonight at the Michigan Speedway right there as he puts down his first time. So we have 39.23. It's going to put him at the top of the board ahead of Christopher Heiss, but Sean Huffstetter there pops up the second. So great time there is Robert Rader up on top of the board with a 39.015. What a lap time from him. I believe that may have been the fastest or the second fastest we've seen all day.
And here we go. That they're going for that track position up front, and that clean air is going to speak volumes. But let's also talk about tire wear. The first stage ends at lap 20. Fuel may not be a big issue, but we were seeing these tires get loose, and as they get further and further on into the run, they're going to get slicker and slicker. It's going to make me really curious to see how well these drivers can hang on.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting scenario, though, especially with 5 sets, 4 in the pits. I believe they're only going to need to probably stop 3 times tonight at both stages and then 1 time in that final run. So right there, if you're looking at that, you're going to have 1 extra set. We'll see who plays the gamble when to try to do that, because definitely going to have a lot of fall off when it comes to lap time wise. As Jason Fenzer, first lap in the books for him. We're going to put him back in the 16th position at the moment, so not the greatest time, as now he slots back to 17th. We'll see if he can pick up the time on the second lap, as some other drivers putting in their quick times. As Brad Ringer, he bumps himself up to second on the board.
And let's look at Robert Rader. He got in. He has a couple of wins in these playoffs. This pole could be huge, and it's starting off this playoff run with a win for him would just give him just that much more confidence going in, and just saying maybe Jason Fensler's not going to run away with it.
We'll see what he can produce on the second lap. Maybe he was setting it up for this lap here as he crosses the line. 39.152. That's going to put him all the way up to 4th. So great pickup on the second lap. Not where he probably wanted to be, as Loveland there slots him up the second now. But I tell you what, that's a great spot to be able to do what he needs to do in this race. So looking at the 44 of Ray Lane, his first time was able to put him 13th on the board. We'll see what his second time is here as he crosses the line. He, remember, like Carl said, he came in here tied in points, just getting in. As Loveland goes to the top of the board on his second lap, Ray Lane goes to second or third on the board with his second lap. So great times being put in here in the last few moments of qualifying here. Now Trevor Earhart, see what he can do.
And this is fun to watch, Zach. We have Brad Ringer in 4th. He's not a playoff driver, but again, he wants that win. Trevor Earhart starts his lap, and he's going down the front struts into turn 1. Zach, is it better to maybe ride that high line, conserve your tires a little bit, or is it best to go with that low line and go for the time?
Yeah, right now I would, qualifying, definitely go for the time. You just want to make that fast speed. But I think in the race, you're going to see a lot of guys looking to hold the upper groove. The upper groove is probably going to be the dominant place to pass. A little bit easier to make passes around there than being held down below, where you can't let that car go out towards the wall. So I have to watch how that all plays out tonight. But I think right around that second seam is where you want to be to make the speed. But here comes Earhart on his second time. We've seen big pickups on the second lap. Not the most pickup, but still going to hold him there in the 7th position, as that's where he was already slotted. So, man, oh, man, great times being put all around, as every driver now has put in a time from 1st to 24th.
This is going to be some really intense racing. Look at the top 7. Only 18th hundredths of a second separate those top 7. And a couple of those are not playoff drivers. So here we see it. The non-playoff drivers mixing it up with the playoff drivers, wanting that win regardless.
Going to be fun stuff to watch. As there it is, the end of qualifying has come to an end. And we're going to have our qualifying results here for the next few moments, as James Loveland was able to carry momentum from the end of this season here late into here Michigan, where he's going to start from the pole position. Great time from him, beating Robert Rader out there in the 2nd position. 3rd's going to go to Ray Lane. So top 3 all being involved in the playoffs. 4th's going to be the first driver outside the playoffs. That's Brad Ringer. 5th's going to be Jason Fensler. 6th's going to go to Justin Stunnard. 7th position going to be Trevor Earhart. 8th's going to go to David Buell. 9th's going to go to Cody Dorsey. And 10th's going to go to Sean Huffstetter. In the 11th position, you got Jake Williams. 12th's going to go to Justice Murphy. 13th's Kevin Orlando Jr. 14th is going to go to Ryan Twynham. 15th is Christopher Heights, one of our playoff drivers. 16th is going to be Nick Alves. Jacob Sekrovich in the 17th position. 18th is going to go to John Magner. 19th, Matt Job. 20th, Dylan Walterman. 21st, Peyton Presley. 22nd is going to go to Parker Johnston. 23rd is going to go to Grant Thorpe. And 24th, rounding out your field is going to be Scott Kerberg. We have 24 cars here tonight at the Underdog Racing League, ready to do playoff action battle. As you can see, the pink banners on the cars that are located here into the playoffs. Man, some guys back there that really need to start moving their way up through the field here, Carl. As I'm looking back at Dylan Walterman, Matt Job, really ones sticking out to me there that need that run here to the end to get up to there and try to get themselves in a better position.
And that is going to be so hard going up through the ranks of this track. We already mentioned it looks slick. It's going to be really spread out. And yeah, the inside line may work for the first 2 or 3 laps, but outside line, I think Zach is definitely going to come in, and that's going to be the preferred line. I guess give and take early on. You want to push it, get those positions for the stage break, or you want to kind of preserve it, maybe see what happens towards the end.
I think stage points are going to be critical. This is a straight up battle in points to the very end of the season, and I think the driver that can come out here produce the most stage points not only will have the best shot at a win. I mean, if you can go out here and get maximum stage points at almost each one of these races, it's going to be a tough job by everybody to get by you in those points. Something we've seen Jason Finsler do a lot this season in the stages is run very well. I want to see if someone else can take those points away from him here tonight.
That's going to be so fun to watch. We've seen Jason have speed, but not tonight. It looks like he might have had a faulty lap, or maybe he just didn't feel like going all in, but he has some playoff contenders. He may have to earn that win tonight, Zach.
He's very well going to have to earn that for sure, Carl, as they come through turn 3 and 4 for the final time before we kick off tonight's playoffs here at the Underdog Racing League. Thank you all for tuning in. The base car is going to take the hard left turn down here at the Irish Spring Hills. Barney's going to have the green flag in his hand, ready to wave it away as we get ready to begin the playoffs. Playoffs are ready to go. Green flag is in the air, waving as Barney's going to let him go down to turn 1. James Loveland out front, side by side, though, with Robert Rader. They're going to be a dead even heat for that lead.
Oh, and there goes Jason Finsler trying to go to the inside of the 44 Ray Lane. Looks like he's going to take it coming off of corner 2. Spreading 3 wide behind him. Look how wide the racing surface is there. Zach. Oh, as the 33 gets back into the 25 Trevor Earhart down the front stretch.
Yeah, a little contact there between the 25 Earhart and the 33 of Stunnard up front. But now they all slide down into turn 3, looking to make their way off of 4. Looks like Raider going to come out at turn 4 here and lead the first lap of the playoffs. Great look for him. He's going to get that quick bonus point in his back pocket as Robert Rader leads lap 1.
This is so huge for Rader. He's had that speed. He's won those 2 races as they go into turn 1. James Loveland fast again, another car, taking that low line through the corner. Third space, you can see Ray Lane as a get up, coming out of 2. A little bit of momentum there. Ray Lane looking to take this position from Loveland.
Yes, he is. 44, Ray Lane getting a good run out of turn 2. He's going to come down to the inside here in the 3 and 4. Tries to slide up in front of the 56. He's actually going to finesse his way into that second spot. And look at that, Ray Lane. Great pass for him. He's up the second here in the early going. Loveland sliding back from pole position. Now to third as Jason Finsler looks to claw his way forward.
And there's Jason Finsler, making a group of 4, but right there, Brad Ringer. He had a strong car, strong showing last week, and here he is again, a decent-sized track as we go into 1. The 44 under attack by James Loveland, trying to make the same move, but doesn't look like he's going to have the momentum. Coming down the back stretch, riding along with James Loveland, you see the pink stripe, pink spoiler, indicating that the car in front of him, Ray Lane, is in the playoffs.
Yeah, I think that's something we're going to see a common theme. Is a lot of pink spoilers up front here as they continue to battle. Raider holding on to that lead. Right now, a driver in the playoffs trying to move his way forward is Nick Alves, and that 24 machine along with him is the 27 of Kevin Orlando Jr. as they battle back here for around the 14th and 15th position. Right now, Alves trying to claw his way forward from that 16th starting position.
And it's heating up at the front of the pack, too. They got side by side. You have James Loveland trying to make the pass on Ray Lane. Finsler on the outside. You have, Loveland on the inside of Finsler there. Ray Lane got passed by Robert Rader. They're going into 3, and here comes the 33 of Stunnard on the inside of Trevor Earhart. Already a little bit of contact between them. Patience doesn't seem to be taking hold this race so far, Zach.
No, this race here going to be very wild. I think it's going to take at least 10 to 15 laps before we really get spread out here with this Xfinity car. These first opening laps going to look something very similar to the other packages of stock cars we have here, where it's very much pack racing here early in the going. But once those tires start to wear, you're going to see really who's got what is. Wow, Jason Finsler very close on the door of Loveland coming out of turn 2 is now Stunner. He's going to be stuck on the bottom with Earhart going to his outside. Looks at that outside lane very strong, as even Ray Lane trying to take the lead from Robert Rader up front. Look at this 44 machine gun. The 53 slides up the racetrack. I think Ray Lane may take it. Yes, he does. Clear him off of 4.
Oh, and as we're looking back, we saw the third 3 of Stunner. Oh, Robert Rader giving Ray Lane a shove down the front stretch going into 1. He is not happy about the way he made that pass, but pass is a pass, Zach, and sometimes you have the momentum. You just got to take it.
What a pass it was from that 44 to get a bonus point early in the going, as right now Jason Finsler, he's putting pressure on the 53 Raider off of 2 here. He makes the move down to the inside. Does this open up the door for Loveland to the outside? We'll see if Finsler can pull off something similar to what Ray Lane did there, but now down into 3 and 4. Looks like Raider electing to go way up the racetrack. That's really opening the door for these drivers to close it on them, but Finsler not able to clear. Here comes the draft down the front straightaway.
And you saw that it looks like Jason Finsler had to get out of the throttle a little bit to avoid getting into Rader, but James Loveland kind of had that held that middle lane right behind Rader and kind of kept up with him. Looks like Finsler gets a little outside there, maybe a little contact between the 53, but here comes the 33 outside of Loveland. This is getting, I guess I can't say getting intense. Oh, as we have James Loveland into the wall, looks like the 33 kind of gave him a little help there.
Heavy contact. That is the 56 of James Loveland on the back straightaway. Yes, contact between him and Justin Stunner, who Stunner was possibly trying to make a side draft on him, and that put James Loveland head first into the outside wall. Brad Ringer had to do it basically. Same as Sean Huff Stutler. A lot of drivers, and even Dorsey there in the 84 machine. He gets up into the wall as, man, oh man, right there, James Loveland, already our pole setter. None of his own doing. Hard into the wall. He's going to be looking for that stage caution at lap 20 very soon to get that thing fixed up.
And already a playoff driver with issues early on in this race, and here we are still going green. Cars look like they kept going forward for the most part, maybe some checking up, but here we are riding along here. We see the pink spoiler there. Another playoff car, and he's way back in the pack. These cars definitely want to try and make a move forward towards the end of the stage.
Yeah, and looking up ahead of Dorsey there is Matt Jobe, like you said, one of our playoff guys in the 19th position right now. Hasn't been able to make any moves forward. Started back there in 19th, so right now very much in the back of this field here, riding along. Jobe going to be looking to probably get up there at some point. Ooh, very close to the wall for that 89. He's going to have struggles now as Dorsey's going to come to his inside down the back straightaway and look to take that 19th position back from Matt Jobe, and yes, he does.
Here we are, we're already seeing these tires wear in and getting slick. A couple cars into the wall already. We saw Matt Jobe get a little loose out there as we were following. Looks like Brad Ringer there in the 76. He fell back some with that contact, the 27. Kevin Orlando Jr., another playoff car, wants to get by Brad, who is not a playoff car, to make those points up.
Yeah, we just had a major checkup off of 4. David Boyle in the 52 machine. He hits the wall and checks up the whole entire field. James Loveland was able to make a big move, luckily not hit the grass and have any mistakes there, so he gets by it all, but it really checked up Justice Murphy in the 29, Jake Williams, as now they all start to do battle. Still here is the 77. Grant, he really starting to work his way up for it as the 21 of Justice, the 21 of Christopher Heights there also on his outside.
You saw David Buell there get really close to the outside wall. I don't think that close is going to work, but I mean, if the grip is there, why not take it? As we see him going to turn 1, looking for some spots here. James Loveland, 56, Christopher Heights, 21, with playoff drivers having some issues early on in the race, but trying to make their way forward.
Yeah, these stage points here that James Loveland's going to miss out on due to that contact. This could end up being something we look back and say, man, if he could have got stage points in that opening stage, what could have been right now? Because that damage on that car has really set him back, and he's going to continue to fall throughout this field farther and farther. Now almost back to the 18th and 19th position. James Loveland really suffering with that damage.
And that's a real heartbreaker too, Zach, because we saw him at Pocono. He was able to kind of keep pace. Of all the cars, we think he may have had one of the better chances to give Jason Finsler a run, and him having issues that early on in the race. Yeah, he can make some repairs, but I don't think that car is ever going to be as good as it was when it started this race.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right about that. Carlos around world Christopher Heights. He's 15th position right now, one of our playoff drivers coming in here tonight. He needs a good run on his side right now, trying to work his way forward. But I tell you what's starting to heat up is the battle for the lead. Ray Lane, he's been able to hold on to it now up to lap 13 after getting by Robert Rader early in the going. Right now, Jason Finsler, though, all over the back deck lid of that 44 machine down here in turn 1, and he is priming him up, I think, for a position here, trying to get this stage win here before lap 20.
And you can see Jason, he gets into the corner about a half width earlier, and then exits the corner a little half width, under the car. That's that aerodynamics we were talking about. He wants to get that corner planted into the track and make that pass as he goes to the inside. Coming out of 4, I don't think he's going to have the momentum, but he's going to have a hell of a run going down the front stretch.
There's a big run to the back end of here, the 44 Ray Lane. Man, oh man, just going to give him a nice little push here. As you can see, Finsler, he's trying to look for the clean air, and he is going to really have a big run here as Ray Lane drove it off into that corner. Super deep, big run for Finsler down the backstretch.
And here they are, bumper to bumper again, going down the backstretch. These guys are not letting go as Jason Finsler looks at the inside, backs up a little bit. He goes way up the track as we see Robert Rader there just kind of stalking these two leaders. But Finsler taking the inside, still doesn't have the momentum going on the front stretch. Ray Lane looks to have that car to make some moves this race.
Yeah, running that higher groove like he's doing, helping him get the run off down the straightaways. But Finsler doing the right thing, looking for the clean air. You can't ride right in the tire tracks of that 44 and expect to be able to make any type of headway on him, as now they come off a 2. Lane going to start to pull Jason Finsler into closer. That Finsler runs right there behind him and tries to make those passes in them lower grooves like that. The more the tires are going to wear. So if Ray Lane can weather the storm, I think he'll have enough to hold off for this.
Oh man, weather the storm, but I think someone wants the storm to kind of keep brewing. Is Robert Rader. He wants those cars to kind of keep fighting and let him catch up. He's made a little bit of ground these past couple of laps. He was a little over a second back, but now he's just over 8 tenths. He can see the lead there, and if they make a mistake, he could be that prime position to take advantage.
Yeah, and I can see the lap times he's producing right now. Some of the quicker times on the racetrack are coming from that 53 machine, upwards of a couple tenths a lap quicker than these two ahead of him. We'll see once he gets closer, does he have anything for him? Because this time by, we're going to be coming to 4 to go in the stage. Right now, Ray Lane trying to do his best to make up that points gap coming in here tonight and last in these points standings.
And as we see the sun come out, these tires are only going to get slicker. The track's going to get hotter. That outside line is going to get way harder to handle. Who knows what's going to happen? It's been a beautiful day here in the virtual Irish Hills as we go into turn 1. 4 to go in the stage. The stage ends at 20, so these players are fighting for that stage win.
17 laps here as they'll be coming by this time to complete lap 17. It'll be 3 to go. What does Jason Finsler has? But you can see just clearly from the picture there we have Robert Rader. He has really closed the gap down in that 53 machine. He's starting to approach these two up front. We'll see what type of lap time he can produce here. Is right now you can see the gap is shrinking. 3 to go in the stage. Can Rader make something happen?
And, that has to help. One car in a draft is great. But you add 2 cars, it's even a bigger draft. That has to be helping Rader, at least down the front stretch, to gain some of that advantage. And during the corners, I think he may just be far enough to get some of that aero pushed on the front of the car, but you can tell. Oh, as he hits the wall. Oh, that is just unfortunate for Robert Rader as Jason Finsler takes the lead from Ray Lane.
And, oh, no, this is a similar scenario to what we've seen with Lane out in front of at Pocono. Just had a really fast car there and just made a mistake like that. They gave up the position to Jason Finsler, and Finsler going to go quickly to the lead as now Earhart going to get by Rader after his collision with the wall.
Man, these tires are just really slick, and that outside line may be fast, but if you can't hold it, you're in the wall and you're causing damage, causing your car to slow down. We are having a ton of playoff drivers having issues. This is going to be interesting for the rest of the race because will strategy play a part in how these guys get back up to the top?
Down to 3 and 4. Jason Finsler for the first time out front after starting 5th in the 5 machine. He's looking to come to the white flag here in stage number 1, and he's going to try to collect maximum points here tonight and build that gap even more secure with the 18-point gap back to the rest of the field. Jason Finsler looking to make it very tough for anybody to get a championship away from this 5 machine. This driver has been on a roll each and every week here at the Underdog Racing League. But I gotta tell you what, some drivers really making the climb through to get some good stage points after not great qualifying spots. Kevin Orlando Jr., he's from 13th to 6th. Walterman 20th to 7th. Nick Alves 16th to 8th. So great job by the playoff drivers there. And also Sean Hustler 10th to 5th. So a lot of playoff guys making their way through. Is right now out of 4. Jason Finsler, he's got Ray Lane right in the mirror, but I don't think Lane's going to have enough time, as there it is. It's going to be Jason Finsler, winner of stage number 1 here tonight at Michigan, as we'll be looking for the caution here in the next few moments as the rest of the top 10 crosses the line. And there it is. Caution is out on the racetrack. And Jason Finsler, yeah, another stage win and maximum bonus points here in the first stage.
And you know, Zach, he didn't start out front. He didn't just run away with it. He actually had to work with that. He didn't make that pass until 2 to go on the stage. So this is going to be interesting to watch what strategy, what people play. I think everyone's going to get tires and fuel, but you know, maybe towards the end of the stage, will someone do what they did at Pocono, maybe come in early, or that famous caution. We saw a lot of cars get into the wall. No cautions yet, but definitely that possibility.
Definitely lots of possibilities still to play out here tonight as we watch Jason Finsler, the stage winner of stage number 1, look to get to the pace car to be able to get down the pit road. We're going to head to a quick commercial here on Freaky Fast Broadcasting as our first stage is over. But congrats to Jason Finsler on getting stage number 1. We'll be back in a few.
To be the best, you can't settle for the rest. There's a reason that Maconi Setup Shop is trusted by more virtual and real-world tracks and companies than any other setup shop in iRacing. With partners such as Stafford Motor Speedway, the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway, Five Flag Speedway, Speed 51, and more, When you want something done right, you go to the experts at Maconi Setup Shop.
With setups available for most series on both asphalt and dirt, built by a team of professional builders consisting of some of the top talents on the service, Maconi Setup Shop LLC has what you need to hit the track with confidence. Head over to MaconiSetupShop.com and learn why Maconi Setup Shop is the official setup shop of Richmond Raceway Esports and is partnered with some of the largest names in virtual and real racing.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Freaky Fast Broadcasting is brought to you by ButtKicker. Feel what you've been missing. You can use our promo code FreakyFast20 at ButtKicker.com to get 20% off of any purchase there at ButtKicker. So make sure you head on over there and use that promo code. Thank you to ButtKicker for being a proud sponsor here at Freaky Fast Broadcasting. But we got an awesome start to this race as we're getting ready to go back to green flag action out front. Jason Fensler is the man with the plan here tonight after winning stage number 1. We're going to go back green flag racing with Ray Lane on the inside lane. There goes Jason Fensler with the green flag is out. We are back racing here as side by side for a second as Fensler tries to pull away.
And then we start Trevor Earhart on the on the inside behind him going into turn 1, but Jason Fensler got shot out of a cannon on that restart. So he just left and no one caught everyone else sleeping. Looks like this is going to cruise out to the second, turn 2 as Kevin Orlando Jr. sneaks, Robert Rader, the 53, sneaks into second. Ray Lane falling back there, looks like, on that restart. So this is getting interesting already with the 99 going into turn 3 on the outside, Ray Lane on the inside.
Yeah, and you can see the 99 working that outer groove. He's drove all the way up from the 20th position now up to 3rd. And he does have a pink banner on the car, but he is a playoff driver. Is now the race for the lead. Raider to the inside of Jason Fensler. Nice side draft from him down into 1. We'll see if he can clear that 5 machine, and yes, he does. Oh, but Raider back to the quarter panel makes it hard work on that 53.
And it looks like he's able to fix some of that damage from top of the wall earlier as 99 comes from nowhere, it looks like, and takes the inside from Fensler, has momentum going into 3. He started 20th, Zach. How do you think he made this jump from back to front?
Dylan Walter, I don't know, Carl. You took the words out of my mouth. He has drove his way up into this battle here, as doesn't have the run off of 4 to get to the inside of Fensler, but he's going to slot back into 3rd as what a drive has been from there. Like I said, not a driver with a pink banner, but he is in our playoffs. So tell you what, got to give a shout out to 99 to Walter. Look at this line. He runs way up the groove here, and it is going to be a big run here off of turn 2 to the inside of Jason Fensler. He's going to be pushing to 53.
Oh, wow, that was intense. Dylan Walterman having the momentum, having to check up due to Robert Rader in front of him. Jason Fensler goes to the inside. That is ridiculous how far he drove in that corner side. Oh, as the crossover. Oh, Jason Fensler comes over. Robert Rader inside, coming down the front stretch. Dylan Walterman right there behind him going into turn 1.
What a move from Fensler trying to get the job done, but Raider says, no, sir, not today. Fensler driving again hard to the quarter panel, right deep into the corner. Here comes Walter to the outside. It's almost 3 wide. He's going to shut the door of the 99. Great run for the 53, but the 5 gets back to the quarter panel, side draft down the back straightaway, and it's a dead heat as Raider going to have a nose ahead down into 3. Here comes Ray Lane. I'd say, well, all 4 of these drivers right here in this picture, they are not worried about tires at the moment as they're racing their heart out.
They are not going to last, Zach. I don't see them lasting there. This cannot last, Zach. Something has got to give, man. This is intense. Going to 1 side by side. There's the top 4 cars, all playoff contenders going into turn 1.
What a show they're putting on for us here. Fensler around the outside. I felt like that was going to have to be the scenario that played out there as Walterman, he's drove himself up into the picture. He says, guys, the 99 has come tonight to get some more action as he was the winner at Daytona. He wants to get a win here tonight at Michigan to open the playoffs.
And then the 44 of Ray Lane, he had some issues earlier. He hit the wall as well, but here he comes inside, trying to get inside of Robert Rader there, coming down the front stretch. Can't quite make the pass. Oh, maybe he can get to the corner panel as we go into turn 1, side by side. Can he have position? Ooh, it's going to be hard to tell, but he was one of those drivers that kind of took a bit to get there. Maybe Robert Rader's tires have burned off, and Ray Lane takes a spot.
What a move from Ray Lane there as he gets past Rader here in the lap 30 of stage number 2. What an opening laps it was of this stage here. We're going to have to get to lap 45, so this time we cross the line. Going to be 15 to go still in this stage. Finsler out front. Walterman in second. Everybody moving up the track as they're trying to cover off the drivers behind them here to have the biggest run possible as we ride on board with Ray Lane down the front stretch.
And I'm looking at the lineup here, Zach, and it looks like all the top 6 cars are all playoff drivers. Kevin Orlando Jr., the 27, he's back to 5th. He started in the back as well, very kind of similar to what Dylan Walterman has done. So both of these cars are having really impressive runs.
That it is, the 27 of Kevin Orlando Jr. having a fantastic run. As it's like him and Rader are running the same paint scheme here in the pink T-Mobile cars. So definitely a good look for those two as they're running very well. As right there's Trevor Earhart, our 6th place man. Also Brad Ringer, our first non-playoff driver up here, really running good. Along with him is Parker Johnson, another playoff driver, and Ryan Twynham there in 9th, another non-playoff driver. So some non-playoff guys having good runs here so far at Michigan. One driver I'm watching starting to climb his way back up from that damage early in the first stage. That's James Lovett, our pole setter. He's up to 13th as Matt Jobe and Jake Williams in front of him battle. He touches the wall actually just as I speak about him, and man, oh man, hopefully not too much damage on that car because he has already used the fast repair from that early contact. And from what I'm looking at, it's not too bad, just a scrape on the right side of the door.
We had Ray Lane, Robert Rader both kind of had dings towards the end of that stage, and that looks pretty similar to what James Loveland just did. So give him a little time. I think he can recover. But as we go with the 29 of Williams Jr. here, as he goes in the side of Brad Ringer. It looks like Brad Ringer may have been having an issue there, but he's making moves too, wanting to move up and get himself in the contention of maybe a top 5.
And speaking of Ray Lane up front, he's actually starting to make the move again for the lead right now as he's dove himself down to the inside of Jason Fensler, to the inside of Dylan Walterman. Ray Lane showing a lot of strength. If he can just get to the lead and stay out front from what we've seen, he's been one to beat. And look at that drive off of 3 and 4 on the bottom, just taking the lead. What a move from him, man. I'll tell you what, that was a power move.
That was really impressive. We know that the high line is the high line to run, but not a lot of people can make that low lane. It is quicker around the track, less distance, but making that and getting up as easy as he did, that was really impressive, especially in front of Jason Fensler.
We'll have to see. This is kind of deja vu of our first run here as Jason Fensler now located second behind Ray Lane. Lane, he had it all together, was actually starting to gap the 5 and had a mistake off of turn 2, had to really check up after almost colliding with the wall. That gives the lead to Jason Fensler late in the stage, and from there, even Ray Lane was able to close back up almost to the back bumper of Jason Fensler. So I'm telling you what, this, we've seen Jason Fensler win the first stage, but Ray Lane doesn't make that mistake. I think he holds on to it right now, back to the lead. He could very well be looking to get himself a victory lane here tonight.
And as we were looking at the camera, they're looking at the 99. Oh, bounces off the wall coming out of turn 2. Turn 2, the problem spot of the night. Looks like he's able to keep it going, though. He slips in the 3rd, but going into 3, Jason Fensler still about a half car width down below the car in front of him, making that arrow work for him.
You can see from the back deck lid here of the 44, Fensler with a nice run from that bottom lane up to the rear end. Now getting that draft here down the front straightaway. Will he decide to maybe make a move down here into one? He may be close enough, just not there enough, almost into the back bumper of the 44. Checks it way up, and you're going to see the difference in the lines here. The 44 really carrying a lot of speed throughout the whole corner while Fensler backs it way up and tries to get a major run down the back straightaway. Just not going to be close enough, though, I believe.
Fensler, he has a little bit of momentum. He's going to the inside of turn 3. Oh, decides against it, goes to the high side. Walterman there, he gathered it up from that brush out of turn 2. Looks like he's going to try and pounce again in that 3rd spot. 4th spot, we have Robert Rader. 5th, Trevor Earhart. So all of these playoff drivers looking for extra playoff points and stage points into the stage of the playoffs.
great runs for a lot of guys already early in the going here of stage number 2. I don't think we should have any fuel issues as this was a 25 lap stage, but with those caution laps, it definitely shortened that down. We do have a 65% fuel load here tonight, so really I'm thinking about that last stage. It's going to be about around 30, 31 laps for these guys. I don't think they'll be able to do that, but if someone can stretch the fuel, this is a fuel mileage track. I think that's what people are going to start thinking about that right now. If anything, if you're not having a great night so far, maybe strategy could be the way to climb yourself into a better position, as right now it looks like Ray Lane and Jason Fentz are ready to do battle here in the final moments of this stage.
And these guys are doing battle. You know they're not saving fuel, not saving tires. But you mentioned, maybe trying to save, hang back. Do you think maybe 2 tires, maybe get a little bit of that track position, then save? That balance out, Zach, or just doesn't make sense at a track like this?
Yeah, it's a definite option. I'm just going to think that 2 tires is not going to work unless it's a very short run. I mean, if we get a quick dash to the end, 3-4 laps, why not do it? Pull it off, see what you can maybe muster it out of a finish, and maybe you'll get something pretty interesting out of it. But right now, if I'm Ray Lane or Jason Fentz, I think about just getting 4 tires on this car and trying to be as quick as possible because they've been so quick here tonight. I think it's going to come down to one of these 2 if it stays like this.
It's interesting watching our 2 leaders there, Zach, is I don't think Ray Lane is actually taking the preferred lane. I think he's more cutting off Jason's lane and disrupting that air and not letting Jason get that traction and that grip that he's looking for. It seems that the cars behind him, Walterman is there within about a half a second. Rader's kind of hovering there, so they're not going anywhere and they're not doing anything. So I'm wondering if he's just more driving defensively, trying to hold on to the stage.
Yeah, he's definitely got a different line than Jason Fentz, not directly right in front of him. They kind of run the similar line on entry. Fentz will drop it lower here. This time, Ray Lane actually does drop it down to that seam. That's going to cover off that 5 machine. But, yeah, I mean, these are the tactics that you use as a driver. You see a driver behind you making time in a certain line. You got to see if you can go there and cover it off, because if you get in front of them and place your car where they want to put their car, it makes it so much more difficult to make that pass. As right now, Fentz are having pretty good clean air all the way up till the right exit of the corner, so that helps him a lot in that 5 machine to stay close.
You saw him right there across the start-finish line. Fentz are getting right up to the bumper, getting to the 44, going into 1. Doesn't take a line, decides to hang behind. What do you think is going through Jason's mind? Is it, just taking his time, maybe sizing Ray Lane up, or not as important, doesn't want to tear it up towards the end of the stage? It's interesting. I've seen him race aggressive. This is interesting, having him sit back and just take his time. Yeah,
I think he wants his max bonus points, but I also at the same time no reason to risk too much here early in the going still, as we got to that final portion of the race. You see Peyton Presley in that 11 machine. He has come through here also with Cody Dorsey up to the front, but the battle for the lead actually right now as they're side-by-side. Fentz is going to try to take the lead up front.
Just I was saying about him being conservative, maybe having patience, and makes that move going to the turn of 1. Ray Lane with that outside lane, though, but doesn't have enough. Coming out of 2, looks for the crossover, gets to the quarter panel, going into 3. He's not done yet. Zach going into 3, Ray Lane to the inside. Will he make it stick? It looks like he will. Oh, will he just sneak up in front of the 5? Doesn't look like he's going to have the chance. Coming out of 4, and just barely. Wow. These guys are passing it back and forth. Each one of them want that stage win.
Yes, they do. The 5 of Jason Fentz goes to the inside, down into 1. Last time was able to make the pass. Here this time, see if he can slide up in front of that 44, but the 44 able to keep its quarter panel to that 5 here now. They're going to exit side by side down the back straightaway. Should be in the 44 hands here now, as he's going to clear him right before the corner exit. This is a great battle here, as Walterman and Raider even behind there. They were battling as Raider's trying to get back to 3rd, but Ray Lane is going to come off a turn 4 here, and he's going to see 2 laps to go here in stage number 2. As right now, Finsler trying his best to get it done. Is Raider there behind? He gets it done on Walterman. Here comes Walterman back to the inside.
Oh, I don't know if he got into that wall, but Walterman definitely got a little squirrely there. But it was a great pass by Robert Raider. Same thing as we've seen with these leaders. He went to the inside, took it, kind of moved up in front of him. As we're watching, we have about 2 laps to go here left in the stage. Ray Lane in front. Fensler. Oh, we have car hitting the outside wall. They're diving to the inside. Couldn't see who that was. Parker Johnston having an issue off down the backstretch.
And that's going to get in the position of Kevin Orlando Jr. with 27. So great job for Orlando Jr. to get up to 6th there. Maybe he crosses back under those. Johnston has the run after getting into the wall. We're going to have 1 lap to go here in this stage as Lane trying to still hold it on from Fensler up front. Everybody trying to get the most bonus points they possibly can here, as I think these stage points will be so critical. Here comes one more final attack from the 5. Just cannot get there as Ray Lane. Good run off of 2. He's gapping the 5 down the back straightaway.
But the bread and butter of Jason Fensler has been 3 and 4. He has a better line, I feel. That I think this is going to be huge. Here we go, going into 3. Jason Fensler taking the outside lane that time instead of the inside. Going out of 4, kind of middle. I think Ray Lane's going to take this one. Jason Fensler, P2 for the stage.
And there it is. Ray Lane going to win stage 2 after giving up the lead late in stage 1. Congrats to him. Those are going to be great bonus points exiting tonight to push him up the leaderboard, and these points is there is the stage caution. What a run for these drivers.
And that was not only a great run for these drivers, but that was some great racing for our ladies and gentlemen watching tonight. They were going at it, no saving. Everyone held it, kept it clean. That was just some fantastic high-skill driving right there.
Very high-skilled, yes, indeed. As Ray Lane able to win stage number 2, got to be super happy if you're on board that 44 machine. Is look, there's Justice Murphy and Sean Huffsteller, both drivers in the playoffs, didn't get stage points, 11th and 13th there, so just unfortunate for them. Because it looks like James Loveland, he was able to climb up in the top 10 too there, so good job on him to get some stage points. As that is the end of stage number 2. We're going to head to another quick commercial break, and then we'll be back for the rest of the action here tonight to see who's going to win here at the Michigan International Speedway. Thank you all for tuning in. We'll be right back. Freaky Fast Broadcasting is presented to you by Maconi Setup Shop. There are setups, but your victories. You can head on over to MaconiSetupShop.com today to use the promo code FB10 to get 10% off of any setup purchase there at the Maconi Setup Shop. And also coaching lessons for just $25 an hour. Head on over to the MaconiSetupShop.com today. Thank you for Maconi Setup Shop for being a proud sponsor here at Freaky Fast Broadcasting, as we're back with the racing action here on the racing surface at the Michigan International Speedway as Dylan Walterman goes around the 99, and we're going to have a quick caution here in the opening laps as Walterman goes sliding around. No damage for that 99, but a slide off of turn number 2 from the 99 of Dylan Walterman.
Oh, and that is a heartbreaker for Robert Rader. He had a clean restart, had a great jump, and he wanted to get out in front, and he took it. And here we are watching the replay of the 99 kind of lose it coming out of turn 2. And again, turn 2. Oh, looks like he got into Kevin Orlando Jr. just a little bit going around. But again, turn 2 being an issue, causing an issue for another playoff driver.
Yeah, and Walton was trying to run the very, very bottom there. Like you said, just slides up the track into Kevin Orlando Jr., who luckily no mishaps for him with that contact, as that brings out our third caution and first one of the night here for a wreck. So definitely been keeping it very green here tonight at Michigan. But right now, like you said, Raider had such a good start. It's going to bring it all back together now, as he'll still hold on to the lead with Jason Finsler in second, Trevor Earhart up the third now, Ray Lane in fourth, and Kevin Orlando Jr. rounding out your top 5.
And here we go, Zach. Save, save, save. You said about 30, 31 laps you were predicting. Well, here we are. It's going to be probably 28 to go when we go green. Do you think you have enough saved to make it to the end?
Oh, it's going to be very close, I think. I think this caution here has really given the chance for a lot of people possibly to make it. And, you know, if I'm someone farther back, and I think that's why you're seeing guys pit here, I think that is very much the reason here, is we're under 30 laps to go here. I think a lot of guys going to come down, top off. I would be surprised if they take tires. I don't think you'll see tire changes here. I think you're going to see mostly just topping off of the fuel cells here to be able to possibly stretch this out. And I tell you what, if it goes green here, you could be looking at the winning strategies. Yeah, Matt Job, Nick Alves, all these drivers coming down the road. Ray Lane's going to put tires on here. I do not like, looks like 2 right sides. I don't like that call there from the 44 Ray Lane. I mean, literally, you just ran half a lap. No reason to waste a set of right side tires, because now he doesn't have those set of right side tires. He's going to have only a set of left sides for the end of this race, and that's not going to be very valuable in my opinion.
And that is a really interesting call, because we know he has the speed to run with Jason Finsler, the only one who can really make him compete for that win. And it's just really weird going in there. Like you said, 2 tires. We just put a set on, unless he knows something we don't. It's definitely a weird call for strategy.
Yeah, definitely caught me off a little bit off guard there. But also, I got to think he does have still 1 set of right tires left. So he does still have at least 1 set of rights and 2 sets of lefts. So that he still does have a possibility of taking a full set of 4 at some point here if we do get a caution. But definitely an interesting call there from him. I would have think you would definitely, maybe if anything, took in at least 1% of wear off those tires in the amount of time they had up the speed right there. So right there, an interesting call from Ray Lane, who won that last stage. He, like you said, Carl, he must know something we don't know, because he felt confident putting them on there. And I tell you what, though, you know, seeing some other drivers come down and top off again. Here comes Peyton Presley. He's going to probably come down, top off this car of fuel. I'm starting to get to the point where I think if we go green here, Raider and Finsler, they're going to be in trouble, along with Earhart, Orlando Jr., Sean Huffstutler, as these are the guys who stayed out here. And if they can't make it on fuel, this could end up being a pretty bad finish for them. The only thing they'll have backing them up is those stage points.
Well, let's also think, though, we have another restart coming. We saw some contact on the last restart. People are losing their patience. They want to move up. They want to get closer to the front for the end of this race. Oh, I don't know. We know we've been watching turn 2. People hit the wall. People check up. It's been really good, really clean driving up to this point. But being Ray Lane, having a fast car, but being stuck back there, I don't know if that's the greatest idea.
This is definitely going to put them in the danger zone, as they would put it. So, gonna have to be careful about that. You gotta be methodical, especially if you're banking on this thing going green here. and the other drivers running out of fuel, there's no reason to try to run through these drivers too fast. You just need to be able to keep pace with the drivers who are around the same strategy you're on, and then as the race goes on, you should be able to pick them up one by one. So we'll see how it plays out here. We got them all double filed back up. Jason Fensler, though, going to be trying from the inside lane, with Raider electing to take the outside along with Kevin Orlando Jr. and the T-Mobile machine. Those two T-Mobile cars up top, as we'll see if they can work their way together here on this restart as the pace car is going to pull in. We're going to get ready to go back green flag racing here after our third caution of the night. Is playoff racing here at the Underdog Racing League at Michigan, and they're off and away as Raiders going to go hard on the gas as there comes Orlando Jr. with a great push from him. That was well timed by those two.
That's great teamwork. It makes the dream work, Zach. But that was short-lived. Here comes Jason Fensler inside of Kevin Orlando Jr. already to the bumper of Robert Raider. Let's see if Kevin Orlando, he hasn't been up front all day. He started in the back, we've mentioned, but here we go, coming out of turn 2. Looks like Jason might have lost a little bit of momentum, but turn 3, Kevin Orlando's going to clear him completely as the teammates going to turn 3 in line. The top 4, as you see, Trevor Earhart back there in 4th. He did a flicker before the pit stops on the last caution, decided to stay out, so this is going to be interesting for these 4 drivers.
Trevor Earhart now up into the picture along with Jason Fensler up to third with Kevin Orlando Jr., who's all over the back of his teammate. We'll see how these two can play together to maybe hold off that 5 machine here late in the going. But here comes Fensler to the outside of the 27. They're going to make contact, but that's going to put Fensler up the racetrack. Somehow doesn't make contact with the wall as there goes Jake Williams in the 29. What a good job by him to evasively move out the way. Here comes Ray Lane on those 2 tires. He goes by the 5 of Fensler. Fensler, major track position loss.
And that was a huge moment for everyone. Everyone didn't look like a lot of people checked up, and a lot of people had to move to get out of the way of Jason Fensler to avoid getting caught up and stuff. And that's going to hurt Jason big time, because not only is he further down in the pack, but there's Ray Lane. They're in 9th. We've documented them fighting before as he goes to the inside of turn 1. This is going to be interesting as they work their way through the field.
Going to try to work their way back up as Orlando Jr. was able to take the lead. Ray Lane, though, making the moves here on Cody Dorsey. Here comes Fensler, though, following him through, along with Jake Williams making a move on Parker Johnston. A lot of drivers making moves here with 25 to go. Does the drivers who pitted have enough fuel? Do we see another caution? With all this action, is there goes Jake Williams up the racetrack. That's going to let Ray Lane get the big run and clear both of them as it's a stack up off of 4.
Oh, and Jason Fensler looked like to get out of it, but Ray Lane got through it as the 29 comes down. Jason Fensler getting past. We're all going into 1, but Ray Lane staying in front. But these guys are working up their way back up to where they want to be, but definitely not as easy as they'd like.
Very, very tough as we ride aboard with Justin Stunnard. Big moves from the drivers ahead of him. There is Jake Williams. He gets loose in front of Loveland. Loveland's got to check up. Here comes the run from Stunnard in the 33. He's got a big move coming here as he goes around the outside. Earhart up front. He's going to take second. There's moves being made all around this 2-mile racetrack.
And there is absolutely no room to rest, Zach. There's fighting and pushing going on. Everyone's out of patience. It's all take. Everyone wants the spots. It's playoff racing. Gotta love it.
Gotta love it for sure. As Ray Lane in the 44, he's continuing his drive through the field as he is going to try to make the move on Sean Huffstutler in the 94 machine. As Jason Fensler not letting Ray Lane get away with much as Ray Lane's been trying to get by that 94.
Ooh, Fensler looks like he has a line on the 44 going to the inside of 3. Oh, we have a big checkup by Robert Raider. Huffstutler had to go. We have to go 3 wide. Jason Fensler inside. Ray Lane on the outside coming out of 4. Will we have contact? No, we keep it clean. Really, really hard racing. As you see Sean Huffstutler go. He started at 10, so he's moved his way up. But Ray Lane, Jason Fensler giving him business.
That he has. Here comes Jason Fensler around the bottom. Here comes Ray Lane around the top. These two just have not been separated all night as Fensler looked to slide up in front of the 44. The 44 was there. He has to back out of it. There goes Ray Lane around him. Now up to 3rd place as ahead of him, up to 4th place is now Raider ahead of him for 3rd. These battles are getting so tight. It's going to be very, very close between everybody here.
And as we were watching that, Trevor Earhart took the lead from Kevin Orlando Jr. as he looks like he's falling back. Robert Raider going to the inside block, and Ray Lane. Ray Lane decided to go to the outside as we have teammates side by side going into 1. Trevor Earhart in 1st place.
Orlando Jr. way out the groove. He misses the corner completely. He's going to slide all the way back to outside the top 10. Orlando Jr. goes from second all the way back to 14th as here comes the run from Lane to the inside of Raider. And man, oh man, you can see there Orlando Jr. just lost so many spots. Lane takes second. Now Finsler going to be trying to take third from Raider.
Turn 2 strikes again as we look into this cluster of cars. Not much separating them. Oh, as he goes to the outside again, decides he doesn't want to taste that wall anymore. He looks like he's going to settle behind Justin Stunnard. Going into turn 1 as the 29 gets into the 48 a little bit. Oh, another tap. Oh, we have a spin. We have a spin, and he saves it. Oh, does he collect any other cars? He looks like we stay green and stay straight. I am running out of breath, Zach.
Cody Dorsey with the save of the race so far. What a drive by him to save that machine as he slid back farther and farther now as, oh no, it looks like Ray Lane, we may have lost him on the racetrack surface too, so we don't see him. He looks like he may have had some network issues with 20 to go. We'll have to see if he can come back. But right now, up front, Trevor Earhart, Jason Finsler second, Robert Raider third, Sean Huffsteller fourth. First car that pitted and we think can make it on fuel is possibly James Loveland in the 5th spot.
And James Loveland, he had that issue earlier. As we see, Ray Lane looks like he came back and he is now in the lead. That was definitely interesting. He is definitely having some packet issues, but the lead remains the same. As we look at the 56 of James Loveland, he did have some issues. He got caught up in a wreck early on. He used a fast repair. He was way back there, but now up to 5th. Looks like Ray Lane is gone again. Trevor Earhart leading us, followed by Jason Fenton.
Yeah, he is disconnected due to incoming packet loss from that 55 is just as he, or the 44 as he blinked out front. He was quickly gone, so unfortunate for Ray Lane. From the lead, going to disconnect us now. Earhart and Finsler battle it out with 18 to go. The question is, does pit stop start to happen at some point? Because we think a lot of these guys possibly cannot make it the distance. Earhart, though, doing his best to hold on to this gap.
And that's, you know, if one person comes, everyone else is going to come down. We do see some other cars that are still kind of in the back that took a little bit of fuel, 2 tires, but of course we saw him disconnect. So this is going to be definitely an interesting battle here towards the front as Jason Fenster goes to the inside for the lead. Oh, as he taps, gets a little into Trevor Earhart. They're going into 1.
Very close battle between those two. There's the 25, but Earhart into the wall just misses the groove, similar to what we've seen from Orlando Jr. Now he's going to slide back. Here comes Raider. Here comes Huffsteller in the 94. 17 to go. Jason Finsler's now opening up a gap, but does he have enough fuel? That's the big question we all ask ourselves. Who has enough fuel? That's going to be the key.
Sean Huffsteller going to the inside of Robert Raider, but fuel is going to be the key because 17 to go. I don't think any of these cars we saw on pit road at the conclusion of that last caution flag, so this is going to be huge in how much of these guys are saving. But it doesn't look to me like they're saving anything at all.
Yeah, I don't believe so at all. It's Huffsteller almost into the back of Raider there, has to dive to the outside there late in the corner entry, as now we're going to have to watch as everybody is on pins and needles to see who's going to make it to the end of this checkered flag. Here comes the run from Huffsteller. He's been in the top 5 at some points, in the top 10, outside of the top 10, even there at the end of the stage. Now up to second, Sean Huffsteller showing he has got the consistency. As we've seen him before, be very strong in playoffs, but here comes a big run from Raider. He gets to the quarter panel now as they race side by side. Finsler, this has got to be music to his ears as he's looking in the mirror saying, man, keep on racing, guys.
Oh, definitely. He's grinning ear to ear. But you see Trevor Earhart, he got into the wall. He's not letting up. He's caught back up to this group. He looks like he has a little bit of speed, wants to make a pass. He's really caught when these two cars are going side by side down the backstretch. With Robert Raider going to the inside of turn 3. Oh, Sean Huffsteller gets in the wall, gets into the outside of the 53 of Robert Raider. No caution. He just keeps it on the track. But, man, that was a huge, huge moment for both those drivers.
Yeah, a little bit of a side draft gone wrong there from Raider as he gets into the door, but Huffsteller hangs on to it. Good job by Huffsteller there. That's going to set him back now with Trevor Earhart and James Loveland there as Raider now slipped back to 5th. Loveland, though, he is the first driver that we've seen hit pit road on that extra top-off scenario that we had with that caution. He's going to have the most fuel in the tank here. If anybody can make it, it's going to be him.
and he's actually putting down some decent laps. He's had some traffic to deal with. He's kept himself clean, so this is going to be interesting. If he can get past Sean and Trevor themselves, if he has a little bit of tire left, he can make it past Jason Fensler, and see if Jason Fensler stays out and doesn't pit for fuel.
Everybody's still looking to stay out here. I'm starting to think these guys are possibly close enough on fuel to make it. I would imagine somebody would have gambled and pitted by now, as actually someone is coming off a pit road up here. I believe that's actually Parker Johnston there in the 48 machine. So he looks like he's the first one to come down pit road, actually. So we'll have to see what it does for him. But right now, Fensler still electing to go on.
And it's really interesting where he came out and blended with the track. Looks like he's going to be right behind Jason Fensler. But all these other cars, he's going to have faster tires, fresher tires. Maybe not a faster car, but definitely causing maybe some issues with the cars. Sean Hufstetler, Trevor Earhart, Duke Culver.
Right now, looking at the 77 of Grant Thorpe here in the Dollar General machine, battling with Jacob Sekovich there as it's 12th and 13th for these two. Our winner from Nashville there in that 77 machine. So looking good for him as he's going to have Ray Lane there in the 44 as he's connected back, trying to come back through here and get what he can, as he is 4 laps down now in the 22nd position. Unfortunate for Ray Lane after winning stage 2. Looking to get to the lead there. He is going to come up a little bit short here tonight due to some network issues.
And that's just a heartbreaker. They gave us and the fans a great showing earlier at the end, or I guess all of stage 2, fighting back and forth, swapping position back and forth. But he'll come back. I have faith in him that he's going to come back and come back stronger next week and make another one for him.
Well, with 11 to go right now, Trevor Earhart, he makes the pass for second on Sean Hufstetler. Raiders making the pass on Loveland. They're all battling right here in the second, third, fourth position. Jason Fensler is just driving away as they battle. It's going to be coming to 10 to go this time. Oh, man, I got to be questioning. Oh, pit stop. Here they go. Trevor Earhart, Sean Hufstetler, the first to pull down from the top 5 here with 10 to go. What is the decision they make? Is it 2 tires here? Is it a splash of fuel? We'll have to see the decisions that come from these drivers, but does everybody have enough?
Oh, I think it's too late for 2 tires. You need to shoot yourself in the foot. I think it's gas and go and do what you can with what you got.
We'll see what they elect to do. Ooh, Earhart slides through his box. Looks like 2 tires for Hufstetler, at least jacking up the right side of that car. They put down the right side now. So he's going to put 4 tires on. So they're going to go for the full 4-tire stop here. I would have thought somebody going to elect to take a shorter stop here with the amount of laps we have left. But 10 to go. 4-tire stops happening. As right now, Fensler still not on pit road. James Lovell stays out, but Robert Rader, he comes down along with Kevin Orlando Jr. and Jake Williams. His pit stops are transpiring here with 9 to go. What a time for pit stops.
Trevor Earhart took 4 tires as well as Sean Hufstetler as they blend on the back stretch. Here comes James Loveland, but this is going to be interesting. 53 misses his pit box. Oh, costly penalty on pit road. We have the right side up. The 29 looks like the right side is up. We have the 27 getting out 2 tires for the 29 going for Strategy. Looks at 53, took 4 tires. Here we go. Strategy coming along as Jason Fensler hits pit road.
That he does. Jason Fensler hits pit road, but the driver yet to hit pit road. That's James Loveland, Justin Stunnard, and Matt Jobe right now. Your top 3 as they were drivers that all pitted there, along with Dylan Walterman there in the 4th position. They all hit pit road there after that 3rd caution. This could be what they need. We'll see what Jason Fensler does. He actually has to back up just a little bit in his stall. He jacks up the right sides. Looks like 2 tires so far. We'll see if they decide to go around to the left side. And now still sitting there, I believe it is 4 tires and fuel for the 5 machine.
And that's going to be huge because, like you said, James Loveland pit last time. He does not need to pit. But it looks like the 53 of Robert Rader, really fast, kept his own, had a penalty, had to stay for an extended period of time. I wonder if that was speeding, because I know this pit lane is not easy to get on from speed, Zach.
Yeah, I think that was excessive speeding from the 56 or 53 machine. So he is going to lose major time there. Is really going to be close to at the tail end of the lead lap. There is now James Loveland in the 56. He's just got to make it home. 7 to go. Going to be coming to 6 to go this time. we'll see, does he have enough in the tank? The question from there, does Justin Stunner or Matt Job, Dylan Walterman, Nick Alves have enough? Because that's our top 5 right now, yet to pit with 6 to go here at Michigan.
Well, and that's going to be huge, but if James Loveland doesn't have enough, he has about a 2-second lead. Do you think he can save enough for these next 6 laps and maybe a little bit around Zach?
With the amount of time back to the drivers that pitted right now, Trevor Earhart, the first driver to hit pit road. He's in 12th right now, 37 seconds back from James Loveland. He is not going to make that time up in this amount of time. Loveland can really coast it along with Stunner and Matt Job. The question is, how do they race each other? Who saves the fuel there? Right now, this is going to be wild scenes here at Michigan with 5 to go. Does the fuel tank have enough in it? That's going to be the big question.
And not only that, but will these guys, race clean to the end of the race, especially some of these guys on older tires, they're going to be a little slick. Turn 2's been an issue. These cars that just came on pit road, Jason Fensley, they have fresh tires. So will the green stay out as well and give these drivers a chance to run to the end?
We will very much have to see as we're watching Stunnard. He's running second, and he has closed the gap down somewhat to Loveland, but man, the question is how much do they back it down here, because they have such a big gap to the tires that pitted and hit pit road. Right now, though, everybody on the edge of their seats watching for who's going to pull this off. 4 to go, 4 more times around this 2-mile racetrack. Who is going to have enough for 16 more miles here at Michigan?
Ooh, James Loveland is really trying to save. He is cutting the apron. He's really low on the corner. I think he's actually in save mode right now. That's why you see Justin Stunner kind of get about a 4/10 chunk out of that lead in the past, half a lap or so.
The gap closing in. We're going to be coming to 3 to go. 6 miles left for the 56 as he's going to be looking to get a win here to kick off the playoffs. This would be what he needs to close that gap down and have a good shot at this. 3 to go, 6 miles here at Michigan. Who has enough fuel in the fuel tank?
Always got to love gas mileage races, but as there's a race for second, Matt Job goes to the inside of Justin Stunnard, going into 2, but coming out of 2 does not look like he can carry that momentum. Has to get out of it and look for a new run, but these guys not letting up. I don't think these guys are concerned about fuel, so they're going 100% and going for that position.
That they are. 3 to go, coming to 2 to go. Right now, Job trying to do everything in his power to get the position is stuttered. He is blocking up and down the racetrack. Right now, Job, though, trying to get it done. 4 more miles left here at Michigan.
And this is definitely helping James Loveland out as these guys battle. That kind of helps him to spread that lead out again. But there's definitely still some racing to go. About a lap and a half coming out of 2 down the back straightaway. 2 to go as Matt Job looks like he may have a little bit of a run on Justin Stunnard going into 3. So let's see how this turns out.
Here they go. Penultimate time down the 3 and 4 here at the Underdog Racing League. We're at the Michigan International Speedway. We're going to have a freaky fast white flag as James Loveland crosses the line this time. We're going to have 1 more to go here. If you want to get your name or logo or business up on the freaky fast white flag, hit us up on our social medias and we can work some out. As right now, with 1 to go, the fuel tanks trying to stretch. Right now is Job going to try to get 1 final run on Stunnard. He's going to have a big run, but the gap up front to James Loveland, 1.5 seconds. Stunnard and Job, they go down to 3 and 4 for the final time with a battle.
And we know the inside line is not the preferred line. Justin takes the outside, hoping to have the momentum. Matt Job looks to be going to the inside, coming out of 4. Coming to the checkered flag as James Loveland wins it, but side by side, Matt Job, Justin Stunnard for second place. 2 that finish, it looks like Justin Stunnard, P2, Matt Job, P3, Nick Alves, 4th place, and wrapping up your top 5 is Dylan Walterman, who started in 20th.
What a run for some playoff drivers there, as our top 5 filled up with 4 of them. Justin Stunnard, though, he's the man not in the playoffs. He has a heck of a run here tonight, stretching the fuel tank. But it's this man here in the 56, starting off the night right on the pole position. Did not have the greatest start after contact early between him and Justin Stunnard, as they both rebound to get a 1-2 here James Loveland going to start off the playoffs a winner here at Michigan.
And that's just fantastic for James. You know, he tried, he had that issues earlier in the race, and then to, like you mentioned, Zach, to have it 1-2 with the Justin Stunner, that's just kind of puts the icing on the cake. But that was some fantastic racing. The Irish Hills never seem to disappoint, Zach, do they?
No, they do not. And I tell you what, when they made that pit stop, I was questioning, how close is it going to be on fuel here? It was the big question in my mind, and James Loveland answered it. He did what he had to here tonight, made the right call to come down pit road, get the fuel at the right time. If your drivers like Jason Fins or Trevor Earhart, who right now finished 11th and 12th, the first to really hit pit road, they got to be heartbroken after what a night they had here, going to come outside of the top 10 late in the going. But luckily for them, stage points is going to be the big thing. But I think Loveland may be out of fuel here. We're going to wait for him to have a celebration. But I don't think he's got fuel for a celebration as he pulls it down to the line here. So congrats to him on the race win. We'll be back here in a few moments, ladies and gentlemen, as we get our top 3 up here in the booth. Let's have a talk. All right, we are back here at Freaky Fast Broadcasting as what a first playoff race of the Underdog Racing League here in the Xfinity Series at the Michigan International Speedway. As we had some wild finishes coming down to the end, and all about the fuel mileage here as Matt Jobe able to bring it home in third. One of our playoff drivers, a great start here at Michigan for him. Let's talk to Matt in the 89 machine. Hey, Matt, it's Zach up in the booth. You got a copy, man?
I do, Zach. How you doing?
Doing pretty good, man. I tell you what, got you some stage points tonight there in stage number 2, man. But it looks like the critical decision came down to hitting pit road there after that third caution of the night. How close was it on fuel, and how does it feel to come out here third after the first playoff race here tonight?
Yeah, it's awesome. I wasn't expecting it because I was running towards the back half most of the race, and yeah, I'm surprised not everybody came in on that early caution in the last stage because it was going to be super close regardless. So I had 0.53 left when I finished, so I knew I was going to make it, but it was close for sure.
That it was, man. Definitely very, very close. Coming out here tonight with a third place finish. You also got the stage points there in stage 2 to help you out. Next week with that tough track at Road America, how important do you think it was here tonight to come out here with third?
Yeah, super important because that's going to be a tough race. I don't even know if I have that track. I may have to go buy it after this race and start practicing right away because that's road courses are always tough, and the key on those is just stay on the track, and hopefully you can get a top 10.
Well, man, it's going to be fun to watch you guys go to battle there next week at Road America. We can't wait to see that. But here tonight was a great battle down to the end. Great strategy call from you there in the 89. Able to bring it home in the top 3 here tonight, Matt. So congrats on that, man. Before we let you get out of here and get prepared for next week at Road America, anybody want to send a shout out to?
Yeah, just to my teammates this year, Nick Alves and Dylan. We worked well together all night. We had the same strategy, and all had good finishes. So good day for our team points wise. I don't know where we're at, but just shout out to them. And that's about it.
Well, congrats here on third tonight, Matt. We will catch you next week at Road America, and you have a great night, man.
You too. Thanks.
All right, everybody. That was our third place driver here tonight of Matt Job in the 89 machine. What a race it was from him, and what a strategy call it was for these top 3 as we move on now to our 33 Netflix machine of Justin Stunner. What a run it was for him. Not in the playoffs here tonight, but I tell you what, nonetheless, a good run for this 33 to get some momentum on his side. Hey, Justin, it's Zach up in with you. Got a copy, man.
What's up, big guy?
Hey, I tell you what, great run tonight, man. Early in the race, qualified up front, got into a little bit of trouble there early in the go, man, but was able to make the strategy call, and it's going to pay off here tonight as you're going to bring it home second with a nice close battle there with Matt Job come down to the end. How does that feel to be able to come home with second here tonight, man, in Michigan?
It's been a minute, man, since I've had a good run, so I'm just happy to finally get a finish out of a race. And I apologize to Loveland there as I came off the wall and came down into him, but we both made up for it, I think, with him finishing first and me bringing it home second.
Yeah, very good point there. The 1-2 it for y'all after that early contact. So that was great stuff to see y'all rebound from that. Were you surprised that many people didn't take that chance to come down on that pit stop there after that quick caution we got after the stage? Because talking to Matt, it seemed like it was going to be pretty close anyways, but they just felt like that was going to be the right call at the end. And it seems like it was the one that really made up the marker for you guys.
Absolutely. I was watching the fuel ticker the whole time, and I knew there was no way, even though I had picked that, that first caution, that we'd make it clutching, saving, turning it off, doing everything. We'd be a lap and a half short. And came out, and that second caution 7 laps in, and bada boom, bada bing, I had like half a gallon left. So it worked in the end, and I'm surprised more people didn't also pit, because he really changed up the top 10. I mean, you look at the guys that were leading, nobody was up there at the end.
Yeah, very much so, man. Yeah, those guys trapped outside the top 10, not electing to come down pit road. So seems like the top 10 really got that right here tonight, man. Congrats on getting that call right. Next week heading off to a very tough track in Road America. How's it feel, even though you're not in the playoffs, to get some momentum built up here in the last few races of the season?
That's great. We're headed to 2 tracks that I love. I love Road America, even though I'm not the fastest. I'm relatively consistent. And then we go to my favorite kind of racing, which is, super speedway racing. So 2 tracks that I enjoy, coming out of a Michigan race that I also like. So let's get it. Let's keep the momentum going and hopefully bring home at least a win before the end of the year.
Well, man, that would be an awesome sight to see, buddy. I tell you what, it's definitely trending in that direction. So let's see it keep going forward at that 33. Hey, man, before we let you get out of here and get prepared for Road America next week, anybody want to send a shout out to, Justin?
Shout out to my parents who are going to end up watching this on the rebroadcast. They finally get to see me get a good finish.
Well, thank you very much, buddy. I tell you what, it was fun to watch you tonight. Great strategy call. We'll talk to you next week, hopefully at Road America.
Take care. Thank you.
All right, everybody. That was your second place driver of Justin Stunner. What a drive it was for him to be able to make that pit call to make it to the end there, along with the winner there, James Lovin. Both of those having trouble early in the going, but they're able to make it back up here late in the going. So let's hear from your race winner here tonight, third of the season for James Loveland. Hey, James, it's Zach up in the booth. You got a copy, man.
Yeah, I got you.
Oh, what a roller coaster of a night, man. I tell you what, the emotions had to be from high to low to back to high, because starting from that pole position, had that lead taken away from you early, then the contact between you and Justin Stunner there, it really kind of turned your race upside down, not really allowing you to get the stage points you probably were looking for tonight, but it ends up being a strategy call at the end that comes down to make you pull off this victory, man. How does that feel? Because I know it had to be a roller coaster of a night.
I'm a loss for words right now. I don't even know what to say. First of all, Just happy to get in Victor Lane. I was definitely upset with what happened, but then I totally forgot about it at the end of the race there, and I talked with Justin. We're all good and whatnot, but yeah, I just can't believe that happened. I at that last caution before we finished off the stage there, I was like, I'm just gonna go in the pits, take fuel. I was back in what 13th, 14th, and took the strategy to go in and pit for fuel. And I was like, if I run it out, I'll run it out, or I'll try to go in and take 2 tires. But managed to save just enough fuel. I was at point 0.3 at the line, so I'll take it.
Yeah, we noticed that it definitely was probably going to be close for you guys, and that was kind of when we seen y'all top off. We were like, "Oh, are these are going to be the ones we got to watch?" Because I just felt like those other guys just were going to be a little bit short, and I knew it was going to be close for y'all. But man, it was very close. It seems like. Did you even have enough fuel for the burnout? Because it seems like you probably didn't there at the end.
No, I ran out of gas at the backstretch.
Well, I tell you what, man, you definitely saved enough here tonight. Definitely a great job by you. Like I said, a roller coaster of a night to get back some of the points you definitely lost there early in the going with those stages. But man, now we head off to Road America, James. Got 3 wins this season. A great way to start the playoffs. How do you feel about going into Road America next week, where we're going to be turning right and left?
Well, for starters, I don't even have 1 lap there, so I got to get a lot of practice in to see how I do there. But usually on road courses, I'm pretty consistent. I just got to try to not wreck. But other than that, yeah, I don't feel too bad about it. I'll try to get at least the top 5 if I can. I'll go for the win too.
Well, man, I tell you what, it's gonna be fun to watch you guys next week in Road America. A very, very tough racetrack and a great start for you tonight, man. Getting that win here at Michigan. So, congrats on that, James. Before we let you get out of here, anybody want to send a shout to for this victory here tonight?
Yeah, shout out to the broadcast as always. You guys do great. Love racing on the Freaky Fast every week, and shout out to the league for doing these races. And shout out to my team. We got another win, first win in the playoffs. Let's keep it rolling.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be fun to watch you guys battle throughout the rest of these next 4 weeks, man. Congrats on the win here tonight. We'll catch you at Road America, James.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, everybody. That was your race winner here tonight of James Loveland in the 56 machine. What a way to start off the playoffs for him, as he's able to bring home the win here at Michigan with fuel mileage. What a wild way to end it all. That is, Michigan wouldn't be any other way, as we're going to be looking to bring up our race results here tonight at the Michigan International Speedway. And what a way, like I said, to start off these playoffs. It's just 5 weeks that are going to be so fun back and forth, I think, between a lot of these guys in the points. As now we have our race results up. Loveland going to be your race winner, along with Justin Stunner, who had contact early in the going between those two. They're able to rebound and get back up front. Right there, coming home third is going to be Matt Jobe, along with Nick Alves, with a solid top 4 and top 5 for Dylan Walterman in the 5th position, as those playoff drivers get some good points here to end out the night. Grant Thorpe there's going to finish 6th, our winner from Nashville. 7th's going to be Justice Murphy, another playoff driver. 8th's going to go to Scott Kerberg. 9th's going to go to Christopher Heights, another playoff driver. 10th's going to be John Magner. And then throughout the rest of the field, as we look through our results, really the ones that stick out to me there is 11th, 12th, 13th, and 14th. Those were our top 4 entering those pit stops there. Trevor Earhart, Jason Finsler, Sean Huffsteller, and Kevin Orlando Jr., and they're going to all come outside of the top 10. Another driver notable back there, Robert Rader there in 20th, and Ray Lane in 21st. Those two very much factors all through the night, but they're going to end up way out of position after having mistakes late in the going, and Ray Lane having a network issue. So unfortunate for Raider and Lane. They're going to have to rebound at Road America. But what a night it was, Carl, here, man, at Michigan. We had battles all around the racetrack through each and every stage, and then it comes down to fuel mileage, man. What else could we ask for?
I think we got spoiled tonight. We had great racing. Strategy was definitely in play, and it was just a picture-perfect day for racing. It was great, and I really enjoyed coming up with you, Zach, and watching the race.
Yeah, man, it was a great time up here in the booth at Freaky Fast Broadcasting. We want to thank everybody, as always, for tuning in up here on these Wednesday nights, and every other night we're live here at Freaky Fast Broadcasting with our 1440p action here live on YouTube. So if you haven't yet, make sure you hit that thumbs up button, that subscribe, and bell notification button so you can be notified each and every time we go live, because the playoffs have just started kicking off. for so many of our leagues. I mean, Thursday night, tomorrow night, we got a finale for their season. So it's going to be wild, wild stuff here as playoffs all ensue here on Freaky Fast Broadcast. But again, thank you all for tuning in. We're going to send it up to our producer, Robert Moyer Jr., to close out the night.
All right. Thank you, Carl. Thank you, Zach. Thank everybody out there for tuning in on YouTube. We do much appreciate it, and hopefully you enjoyed tonight's content here at Freaky Fast Broadcasting, where we bring all the action here every night, every week, and every month. That we try to do the best that we can on that. But congratulations to James. He's going to close down that points lead there on Jason Finsler. And also Trevor passed Jason there at the end on the very last lap that we missed it on the broadcast, but he got by him to get 11th position. So that's a great jump. And like you guys were saying, if you look at the top 10 here, you have John, you got Scott finishing 8th. Great run. Justin, Grant, Dylan, Nick, Matt. I mean, you got all these guys that were in the backpack running here tonight, and they played the fuel strategy right, and it puts them up into the front and takes the fast guys and puts them in the back. So when we say never never give up, because you never know when it comes to online sim racing. You don't know how anything's going to react or how things are going to play out or even how the yellows are going to play out. But these guys put on one well of a show here tonight at Underdog Racing League, so hopefully everybody enjoyed tonight's content. If you did, you know what to do. If you go back and watch this replay, there's a share button there on YouTube. Share it to your favorite social media platforms. We do much appreciate it. If this is your first time here watching Freaky Fast Broadcasting, don't forget to hit that bell to get all the notifications when we go live, and subscribe. It helps the league out, helps us out, helps everybody out overall in general, and also helps iRacing get their content out there a little bit more is what the goal of doing this for, and putting on great action for all the leagues. But with that being said, here from virtual side of Michigan, the Iron Spring side at Michigan, we want to say here at Freaky Fast Broadcasting, hopefully everybody has a great Wednesday night. We will be live tomorrow at 9:20 with Stars and Stripes season finale at Homestead. We're going to crown a champion tomorrow at 9:20, so make sure you tune in tomorrow night. Root on your favorite driver, root on your favorite announcer, as we'll have Sam Dyer and Zach Hall calling all the action there at Homestead, Miami at 9:20 Eastern. But until then, have a great Wednesday night here at Freaky Fast Broadcasting. As always, we want to say God bless everybody. We love yous all. Peace out.